Hello, everyone. This is your host, Sirisha Akila, and I welcome you back to another great episode of Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama. Our guru, Dr. Padmaja, is a psychology faculty, a life coach, a motivational speaker, and also an academic advisor. Welcome back, Padmaja Garu.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Sirisha. Always good to be with you here.
Absolutely. So I will start off by saying a self-affirming statement. Today, I will accept myself for who I am, not who I wish I were. Self-esteem, a very crucial topic. So I would like to start off by a very basic question. What is self-esteem?
It's indeed a crucial topic, self-esteem,
Yes.
because self-esteem forms the crux of our personalities.
Yes.
What we are totally depends upon how our self-esteem is.
Mhm.
And our self-esteem develops throughout our different age groups, right? It doesn't matter if you are an infant or a toddler or if you're an adult, your self-esteem keeps wavering.
Mhm.
Yes, we are born with a certain level of self-esteem. Of course, genetics play a role like into any other behavior or any other trait. Self-esteem, we also impart through our genetic inheritance. But then when we are growing up, our self-esteem is established by the interactions we have with our parents. Like say, for example, as a toddler, you were trying to get potty trained. Your parents are trying, and then of course accidents are going to happen. So there's an accident, you probably didn't get to the potty, and then your parents don't show the disappointment, or they say it's okay, mistakes happen, you can do this. So you think, okay, mom is not upset. On the other hand, if you get upset and say, oh, what did you do, you never do anything right, your self-esteem at that point grows down, thinking that I can never do anything right. See, that comment gets stuck in our brain, and then our self-esteem kind of wavers. And as you're growing up, you as a child are trying to do different tasks, trying to show your independence, and trying to show your autonomy. So your encouragement or the reinforcement that is coming from your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your teachers play into your self-esteem and your development of self-confidence. And now you go to school, you go to preschool, everybody has a drawing class, you try to draw something. Of course, it's your first trial. It's not going to come up great, but then your teacher says, wow, what a great job, right? Then you think, oh, really? I did a great job. So you come proudly and you exhibit that to your parents, and your parents display it on the refrigerator. Your self-esteem is boosted, right? Right? But then your teacher says, what is this? Did I teach you like this? I didn't expect you to do like this. Then you feel ashamed. You feel like, I'm not good. I can never be good. Then you take that paper, throw it in the dustbin. You don't even get it home. So again, your self-esteem is wavering. And now you become a teenager. At that point, your self-esteem is coming from your peers.
Okay.
So it's very important that you have good peers, good, friends.
Yeah.
Because you want to be mingling with groups. You don't want to be left alone.
Right.
Your self-esteem at that age all depends upon whether your friends are inviting you for parties, or whether they're appreciating in the way you dress, how you look, your body image. All this is coming from matters, right? And especially these days, we are bombarded with social media saying you need to look a certain size to be good looking. It's all about what other people think about you. So your self-esteem obviously is coming from people around you. So it is very important that you select people who encourage you for what you are. Because obviously our strengths are there in us, and they have to help us find those strengths. And then you come into adulthood, your self-esteem now is depending on the degrees you have, the cars you drive, the outfits you wear, the environment you live in, the schools you go to, because you are always trying to measure up to something. Again, your self-esteem goes down if you're put down, if you're not appreciated for the work you're doing. Simple example, as a mom, you try to do so many things. As you get up in the morning, you fix everybody's lunches, you send everybody to school, and then nobody is even complimenting you, and you feel low. So one thing I would like to stress here is you should focus on building your skills and building those skills that you already have, and surround yourself with people who encourage them.
Got it.
Right. Yeah.
Just improve
on what already you have. Right. Yeah.
Correct. So the less confidence you have, the worse you do.
Right.
But the more confidence you have, the better you do. And the luminous loop goes around.
Right.
So what can be the challenges to improve your self-esteem?
Yeah. First thing is, when people feel low, they try to retract.
Yeah.
They don't want to go out. They don't want to mingle with people. They just want to separate themselves. And then they get this mean streak, So because you're feeling low, you're going to criticize everybody. You're going to put everybody down. And you feel that, why am I facing all these challenges while everybody is happy, everybody is enjoying, and many people suffer from this low self-esteem in spite of looking beautiful, in spite of doing great in life, because they don't see all the positives. They just want to see the negatives, So here what happens is they have this ideal self in their brain, like say, if I want to look like Beyonce, the great pop singer, right? How am I going to look like Beyonce? How am I going to sing like Beyonce if I can't just hum a tune?
Exactly.
So my ideal self should be realistic.
Right.
While my real self is so far below to my ideal self. So you should have a goal which is reachable. 100%. If there is that much space between your ideal and real, then you're going to have low self-esteem and you're not going to feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
And like say, for example, you hear about bullying in schools, right? Yeah, it's a big thing. Bullying is actually happening because the bully themselves have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Why do people bully other people? Because they probably are bullied at home. They probably are told all this negative talk at home. For example, a bully picks up on a student, and he generally or she generally picks up on a student or a friend or a classmate who he wants to be like. So they are jealous about this person's way of life or achievements or the way they look or whatever. So they pick up that person and they, put them down or threaten them. So bully themselves has low self-esteem. So we have to help the bullies to overcome their low self-esteem. And in adults, you see this low self-esteem playing in different ways. They backstab other people. They are spreading negative comments because they don't feel good about themselves. So to overcome this low self-esteem, all of us should focus on our strengths, and I tell you, all of us have strengths. We are all unique.
Yes.
We are just not focusing on them. So if you can't find them, ask your friends, your peers, your family, help pick up those positives. And then if obviously you have some weaknesses, build on those weaknesses and put some goals. Everybody should have certain goals to keep us moving. It doesn't matter. It could be a 5-year goal, a 1-year goal, 10-year goal. It doesn't matter tomorrow if you're going to achieve those goals or not. But every day you get up with a goal. You get up with a purpose that I want to achieve this. When you do that, when you achieve that, you feel satisfied. You feel reinforced. And check it out. Wow, I did this for today. I tell my students, like, if you're feeling low, if you don't feel good about your achievement levels, if you're feeling low self-esteem because you're not doing well in a course, think about the strategy which you're working on. Say, for example, your child comes to you saying, Mom, I'm so irritated. I work so hard in this class, but I always get a C. It's already second exam and I just have a C. How do I improve my grade? Tell them, maybe you need to change your strategy.
Yes.
Ask them how many hours they're spending on the course. If they're spending 8 hours, ask them to increase it to 12 hours. So by increasing to 12 hours and probably study in the daytime hours or, early in the morning when their brain is active and they're ready to take in the information, or maybe do note cards or study with a study buddy, go ask your teacher about study strategies, put all these different strategies together and see if your score improves.
Yes. Have a plan,
and stick to the plan.
Exactly.
And stay motivated to stick to the plan.
Yes.
That's what I say, always have a purpose, always have a goal. If you have the intention to improve, if you are motivated to improve, you will do it.
Yes.
And also set a realistic goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you already have this C in the class, and then it's already 3/4 of semester is done, don't expect to get an A. Maybe get a B. Set your goal to get a B. If you have a B, set your goal to get an A. So slow steps. And also you have to change the strategy if the strategy doesn't work. So going back to our child's example, after changing the strategy, if the child does well, there you go. The child gets reinforced. And don't forget to reinforce your child.
Okay.
Call them back and say, I'm so proud of you for inculcating all these good habits and changing your strategy and achieving the goal which you set for. So when you reinforce anybody, a pat on the back very important, or a praise, it really fills them up.
Correct.
It really boosts their self-esteem. Yeah.
So great. So what is the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence? Can you give a good example?
Right. Your self-confidence comes from your, self-esteem. Like, say, for example, if you dress well, you get self-confidence in the way you walk, in the way you talk, right? So your self-esteem is like what you think about yourself, how you perceive yourself, and there are 3 different levels of self-esteem, high self-esteem, people who feel good about themselves, sometimes too good about themselves, right? And people who have low self-esteem, and we all should work for secure self-esteem, which is like a medium, which is not too good, too low. And people like who are having good self-esteem or secure self-esteem, do well in their jobs, get promotions, so it's very important that. And you can see a person with a good self-esteem because these people compliment other people. These people are always mingling with other people. They don't put other people down. Whereas people with negative self-esteem or low self-esteem are criticizing others. You should always understand that you should reinforce other people. When you do that, you are going to reinforce yourself. So there is an example which I would like to give here. Like they say that we all carry an invisible bucket and an invisible ladder. Okay. Whenever we fill other people's bucket by a praise or a compliment, we've not only filled their bucket, but we also fill our invisible bucket. Wow. See, it's like it's a double whammy. Right. So always compliment other people, seeing their happiness, it's going to reflect on you and you're going to feel good.
Better.
Yes. And if you feel low about yourself, like some people might have problems with their weight, it's a very common thing. Let's go there. Say, you're not happy with how you look or, about your weight. So what do? You just can't sit and plan the meals in your brain and not exercise. It's not going to happen. You have to work for it. You have to have a plan, have a exercise buddy or, design your meal plan and follow up the plan, and you have to reinforce yourself when you make small steps. So,
or maintain a journal.
Good one, maintain a journal, that is always good. You should reinforce yourself. And I also tell my students, write all your positives. All of us have positives. Write those positives and put it on your mirror.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way, very good way to do it. Actually. Right. It's a very good point.
Every day as you get up, look at those positives and be thankful for all the positives you have.
Yes.
Immense amount of gratitude.
Exactly.
Will boost your self-esteem too. So that's one way of building self-esteem.
I call that the gratitude board.
That's a good one. I'm going to steal that term now. Gratitude board. I like it. Are you on your gratitude board?
Yes, I do.
Yes. And all of us should have that.
Yes. I do encourage my kids having that.
Very nice. So, very nice. Yes.
So it's very difficult to actually measure one's self-worth. Would you suggest some metrics to actually have a measure?
Talking to your friends, when you feel low about yourself, always revisit, where you were, where you come from, where you're going.
Right.
That's why I say, you always should have goals. As you check those goals off, you will understand that you've come long way.
Correct.
And have mentors. Having mentors is very important because sometimes we are unaware of our skills. We don't know how good we are unless somebody tells us. Right? Because if you have low self-esteem, you are wearing a mask kind of thing. Towards all the positives you have. You don't want to look at them.
Right.
You are hypercritical.
Yeah.
You're too negative on yourself.
It's true.
So your mentors will tell you, that you are good at this. So you should have mentors for your academic life, your mentors for your financial planning, your mentors for your social life, your mentors for your personal planning. So having mentors for different aspects of your life will help you plan for your future growth and success. Even in your professional life, you should have mentors. And your smartness lies in choosing good mentors, positive thinking, right? Always have a positive mentor. It's very important. If somebody is giving you a negative spiel, you don't need them around.
Right.
So as I said, imagine that invisible bucket and the invisible land. Always feeding other people's bucket while getting reinforced. Yes.
Excellent. So in other words, the positive self-talk and self-feeling is very important for one's growth.
Yeah, definitely.
And everyone is capable of doing everything. We just have to look inside ourselves. So that's
yes. And also see, another big problem here is especially when you are young and when you are a college going student or even a high schooler, your friends judge you and they judge you hard.
Yes.
So at that time, that's when your self-esteem is very low. And when your self-esteem is low, you fall into bad habits like drinking and, or even drugs and even depression and anxiety and eating disorders.
Very common nowadays.
Very common. Because, how at that age, when you're not getting approval from your family or especially your peers, you feel that you don't fit into this world. You feel that you're not good enough. Then what do? You go into these bad habits or pick up these bad habits of drinking, thinking that kind of pleasure is going to mask this.
So true.
So it's very important that is a crucial age, and at that age you should have good mentors, good positive influence on you. And the eating disorders that are coming or which we see in all these young kids is because they have low self-esteem, extreme low self-esteem.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because they think that they don't look good in spite of our parents telling them or peers telling them that how beautiful they are or how beautiful they look. It's not going to sit with them because in many of our families we see inadvertently making comments on how the kid looks or what they eat. Oh, you're going to eat that cookie, the third one? The child is reading it. Mom is calling me fat. And then the brothers especially pick up on sisters saying, oh, you're not wearing that dress or you look fat. Just to tease the sister, the brother says that you look fat. Or even fathers say comments on how they look or what they wear. You're not wearing that skirt because it's going to show your fat legs. The child there is focusing on the point that you call them fat. Even if you don't call them directly, any negative comments towards their weight or their appearance, they're going to take it very harsh.
Yes. That's going to impact.
So as a parent, when your son, makes a comment on your daughter about her appearance, you should step in and cut it off.
Correct.
Because maybe he doesn't know, or maybe he thinks that is right. So you have to tell them, no, you are no one to comment on her weight or the way she looks. Correct. Because from the point of view from the girl, she's going to take it in a serious manner. She's going to stop eating because her brother called her fat, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to lead to serious eating disorders like anorexia or bulimia. Even after marriage or even into adulthood, you see a lot of women suffering from that because they don't see themselves as beautiful, or they think that their spouses or their significant others don't see them as beautiful. Right. So be very careful in what you say and how you comment on the way people look. it may not be serious for you, but it could be serious for other people.
Yes.
So it really changes their self-esteem. And when as I said, when the self-esteem is impacted, it impacts the whole person's personality.
Right.
And then it can drive them into anxiety and depression. It alienates them.
Yeah.
They don't want to go and mix with anybody. So that could lead to serious mental stress. So all we can do is, keep other people's sensitive feelings in mind when we make comments.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great discussion, Padmaja Garu. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking about this, and next time, more topics for you.
Yes. Thank you all for watching Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama. We'll meet again with great topics like this in our future episodes. Please subscribe to Mana TV YouTube and Mana TV Facebook channel and watch us on YUPP TV. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay smiling. Goodbye.